Welcome to our first reaction video.
Guys, welcome back to the El Segundo episodio. And this is actually our very first reaction video, guys. For those of you who don't know who Jubilee is, you know, basically what the concept of Jubilee is, they find people who have opinions on polarizing topics. I've been subbed to Jubilee for like a couple of years, and to be honest, you're reaching with some stuff.
Hey, wait. So you're subbed to Jubilee, but you're not subbed to our own channel?
Yeah, I'm subbed to this channel.
Oh, you guys? Come on now. You guys gotta sub. You gotta hit that like button. You gotta comment.
Help us out with the algorithm. We're just three.
Los tres amigos.
We're the three amigops.
The three amigops?
Men and women are inherently different.
I believe men and women are inherently different when it comes to how we think, when it comes to our chemical makeup, how we approach situations. Men and women for me are different.
Kind of on the same page as you.
I mean, leche.
Leche, man.
Yeah, they are inherently different.
And just because something's different doesn't make it better or worse. It just means that it's different. So
Different doesn't need to be a bad thing always.
exactly.
Yeah.
Not to say that this is like a sound fact or that, you know, there aren't exceptions, but I think, you know, men are, they're built differently. They're stronger, usually. I can say, yeah, physically is a one.
Obviously, it changes based on like their race and gender, or like where they're from and stuff like that. But I think that women tend to sometimes be a lot more over emotional, and where men tend to kind of respond a little bit more stoically. And that might not be the most like perfect way to say it, but I think it is.
Do you
like,
think that's a natural way that we're born to be, or do you think that's how we're brought up?
I think it's a mixture of both. Like, or it might just be how society has ingrained it, and they should react to certain things too.
Yeah.
Men are supposed to be this like sometimes uncompromising, not unemotional person, whereas women are supposed to be emotional. And so I think that people sometimes like fall into those categories even when they're not supposed to be.
I feel like, you know, even as a man, like, you know, how I approach a problem is like, oh, how can I fix this thing? Whereas like a lot of my female friends are like, I don't need to fix it. I just need to listen to this person. and like for me, like that's just not my natural impulse.
Yeah, I agree.
The first guy had a really good point.
I agree with that. I don't remember his name, dude. The white guy. I'm gonna say the white guy. Fastest way I can take care of this problem, because I don't want the problem to be a problem anymore. First, you need to understand how the problem is and how we got there, and how does it make you feel, and how does it make other people feel, and it's just like this long freaking journey to finally to actually start to, like, you know, solve the problem instead of just, man, we're just like, yeah, let's do it. But,
Yeah, I mean, it's easier for men to deal with situations without putting their feelings or getting their emotions in the way.
okay.
Not to say it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
but
we're different, but not in a bad or good way. It's just different.
We're just different. It's apples and oranges, yo. It's apples and oranges, yeah.
and bananas.
Yeah, good. I think there's so many men who people will say, oh yeah, men are always strong or always this or always that. Well, tell that to a female UFC fighter. She'll kick their ass.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
No, stop this shit. I'm not gonna allow this shit to happen. No, fuck that. No. What we cannot do is we can't use a fucking outlier to disprove a normality, right? And I think it was actually the girl in the red who said that first. You know, she said on average, men are physically stronger than women. That's not to say that there's not women out there who can't beat me up. I'm so tired of this. And you see that a lot these days. Usually when I don't understand what the problem with having like a benchmark. Nobody wants to have a benchmark. Nobody wants to have like oh, this is an example of this. Oh, well, I don't want to be that the example doesn't fit me or whatever. You know, I don't want to be quote unquote normal because society. Who gives a shit, bro? Who gives a shit, bro?
It's not even about society anymore. It's biology.
But men, on average, men are stronger than women, on average.
We're just built differently. We were built for that.
Yeah, I know, but like it's crazy, right? Because like I could use an outlier to disprove the outlier, right? Tell that to a UFC fighter. Okay, well, take me, get me the best woman UFC fighter and put her up against Khabib.
It's not even that. Just get two people, same age, same background, and same amount of training, and the man is still going to get on top.
Dude, man, Serena Williams is like regarded as one of the greatest female tennis players in the history of the sport. And then she ranked 141th or like 112th or something when it comes to just like all competition, men and women. And she got her butt handed to her by like the 112th dude.
It's not like it's discriminating. It's just factual. It's just
not,
biology. It's just the way it is.
That's saying, and there are also
That's why I said there's exceptions.
Very much so.
But there are a lot of people who will say, "Oh, women are always hyper emotional," and then tell that to a bleeding heart guy who's just like the biggest, most passionate person. I mean,
I don't like this motherfucker.
Yeah, I think he's talking about his own self.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's hyper emotional.
I don't like this motherfucker, bro. Like, what the hell, man? Look at her face. You see her face?
He's probably like the only guy.
Stupid.
She's like, hey, wait, whoosh over his head.
Look, he's the only guy there that actually has like emotions or is more emotional than the other men.
Yeah.
I just think generalization is always problematic.
My husband he's one of the...
Gender relations is not always problematic. It's what we just said. We generalize men versus female because men generally are stronger, better built for physical activity than women are.
Not to say there are no exceptions.
That's what we say generally. That's what it's for.
Generalization is not bad, yo.
It's not.
It's not. There are disadvantages to having my identity. I feel like everybody should walk forward.
Yeah, I missed the question. What was the?
Are there are disadvantages in being either?
Yeah,
there's advantages and disadvantages to both. If I was there, I would have walked up personally. I would have brought up. Because a lot of, how would you say, people in the feminism community, I guess, or just like progressive people, they like to say that, if you're a man, you're going to succeed just because you're a man, and like a woman has it harder. But, on average, for the same crimes committed, men do more time in jail. If there's a domestic dispute between you and a woman, the cops have to arrest somebody, and 9 times out of 10 will arrest the man first without any questions or whatever, and then get the story after, which is not fair. Men go through a higher suicide rate. I would have just brought up some of those things, and you can kind of go wherever you want with this. So
there's many disadvantages for both sides. So
yeah,
obviously we could basically poke at it all day.
We're putting our perspective because we're all guys, but
in my position, I'm pretty high up. I kind of sit on the right hand of the president, but it's just kind of interesting how I'm always left with all of these like administrative tasks. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, what about him and him and him and him and him? But it's just, I think it's natural for people to associate administrative.
Okay, so do you think that whoever, man or woman, whoever it is that runs the company, do you think that they're gonna do the paperwork, or are they just gonna delegate that off to whoever the right or left hand man or woman is? I didn't think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the person who runs the business is not gonna go to like some entry level employee to handle like corporate paperwork or anything like that. But
did she explain what her job was? Because it's like if it's about administrative and paperwork, then what are you complaining about? You literally got the job.
Isn't she like a journal? Wasn't she a journalist?
I forgot what she was.
She did something with writing, bro.
404.
404, yeah, I remember.
Advertising,
recruiting. Otherwise known as paperwork.
So probably the reason why she's getting all this stuff is because she's trusted with it so much. The reason why she's getting all this work is probably because she's the only one that's trusted enough and most highly like regarded to do the work.
See, this is the thing, but this is the difference between man and woman. See how we're receiving this is busy work. Because we're not letting our emotions get involved with the fact that we understand that this is the job that we're given. Well, like what he said, that the boss is trusting us to get the work done. We're the most reliable, maybe. If he considers you the right man woman, that means that he trusts you with work. So just get the work done. Like that's all I got.
Don't think about why isn't he doing it. It's like, no.
It's like, yeah, get your emotions out of the way.
Be happy that you're doing it.
Yeah, understand that this is a responsibility given directly to you.
Yeah, you just like if you're the go-to person for side of business owner, you're gonna do shit that's not necessarily in your job description.
He probably gave you that work because if he gave it to someone else, they probably wouldn't be able to do it as efficiently or quickly as you.
Just work construction. There ain't no paperwork there.
Yeah, there you go. Anyways,
trust me, experience. I understand.
Men should hold doors open for women.
Men should hold doors open for women. I fucking hold the door open for anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't matter.
I don't really give a fuck. I'm that dude like at a gas station that like, yo, yeah, I'll see an old person like walking from like 50 meters away, and I'll just stand there for like 3 minutes holding the door open. That's just me.
Yeah, it doesn't really cross my mind who I'm opening the door for.
Yeah,
it's just being a good human.
Yeah, like
decency, I guess.
Yeah, so.
If I'm with a male, if I'm walking to a door, I won't touch the door. Yeah. However, if I do open a door, if I'm by myself and there's people behind me, I'm keeping it open, whole family, females, males, no problem at all. But if I am with a male, I will.
Your previous issue was the fact that administrative work is quote unquote feminine and you didn't like that. But now you like when people hold the door open for you because you're a girl, you're a female, and we're expected to do that.
She even said, like, whenever she's with a man, she would not open the door.
She will wait for you to open the door.
That's fine with me. I'll wait with you.
If you got a movie at 9 o'clock and it is 8:55, she will stand there until the credits, until you open the door.
I feel like holding doors isn't just specified for a certain gender. It's just like decency for anybody to do it.
Just stand there. Yeah, and look real stupid too, because they usually stand there like as a joke, and I'm like.
Where does that expectation come from for you?
I'm sure it was just the way I was raised.
Reason why a guy doesn't think that you know what screw that is the same reason why they think they have to open the door, or why it hurts, why chivalry can hurt. Because the idea that like we have to protect and we have to like do things for them, it translates, it's equal to the idea that because they are unable to.
What?
What the fuck?
My brain hurts. So
bro, like
she's trying to compare holding a door
to
holding the door standard to what that girl said with working at a hardware store and people just assuming she doesn't know what a screw is. She's comparing those two.
You're saying it's like she said like it's because they think that we're incapable of opening the door. Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think you're incapable of opening
bro,
the
she
door.
said a whole lot of fucking nothing, bro.
Whenever I hold a door for a woman, none of that crosses my mind. I'm just being a good human. Like, what's wrong with that?
I'm comfortable showing my emotions.
Definitely not comfortable showing my emotions. It's basically like, the whole society thing that's taught to men. It's like we can't really show it.
I was not comfortable showing specific emotions. That doesn't mean I'm gonna express to you every emotion or whatever. Because I do believe that you do need emotional intelligence, which is, the ability of when and who you can express whatever it is that you're feeling with, at any said given time or whatever like that. But I used to not always be like that.
Me, I personally don't care. Like, back to the whole thing with what they were saying about the differences between men and women. The whole stoicism thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't really get caught up in it. Because, like, most of the times, if I have to be honest, it just makes me want to just get myself out of the situation that I'm feeling like that, Mm-hmm. But I'm not necessarily going to break down or explain why I feel a certain way. That's just not me.
I wasn't always comfortable sharing my
Yeah,
emotions. I
sure.
think from childhood to, my mid-20s or so, I think it was more of just like this, let me bottle it up. I'll share with a few people, but it wasn't something I would share freely. And I think now where I'm at is I see true power and vulnerability.
Absolutely.
To share and not fear, judgment or shame.
Right. In my opinion, you were actually more right when you were a kid than you are right now. Because as a kid, you said, hey, I would bottle it up and I would express to a certain few amount of people what it is that I was going through. And that's just like basically what I said a moment ago, emotional intelligence. And now it almost seems like you're like, oh yeah, I'll just express to anybody freely whatever it is that I'm going through. No.
Some people are the cruelest.
Yeah.
Kinds of things out there. They would use it against you. They use your vulnerabilities that you struggled so hard to probably say. And they'll use it against you like a cold knife. Like they don't care.
I believe that we're all image bearers, image bearers of God, and like that we're equal, and we're given these different roles to fulfill. When you see two people dancing, and it's a beautiful choreographed equal dance, no one's outshowing the other person. But when it comes to like relationships with men and women, like I feel like these different roles can be such a beautiful thing when done right, but can also be a disaster if one person is, trying to outperform, or another person is taking advantage or overstepping.
I like the point that Joe made, the beautiful dance thing. It's a good analogy because like that's how relationships should be. I believe that they should be a balance.
Be a thing.
It's like what he said. When one starts trying to outperform the other, that's when it becomes problematic.
It should be just a cycle. I feel like it should just be a cycle between both.
Perfectly balanced as all things should be.
Yo. Every person does have both characteristics, I guess, masculinity and femininity. Obviously, for most guys, masculinity is going to be more, dominant, and then, vice versa for females. But this is a very controversial opinion. I'm not going to say all of it, but I do believe that in today's society, there's not a lot of examples as there were maybe 100 years ago of how a man, should be or how a woman should be. Because I feel like as we progress through the years, the men are starting to go to women's side, and women
it's like the difference of like
side, so
it's like the difference of having that little bit of feminism inside of you rather than having a understanding of it inside of you.
Oh, got it. I got it. Men and women these days are playing out of position. So
yeah,
it's what Joe. Going back to Joe, he said that it's a beautiful balance on both roles. But the problem nowadays is that both roles are now in an individual instead of being shared to two individual parties. I think that's the problem we're experiencing nowadays, is that men and women are both conflicting their I guess the mentality, the psychology of it. Yeah. There's men with feminine traits, and then now there's women with masculine traits, and that's the turmoil that's I think messing everything up.
And not that that's per se wrong.
It's not.
I feel like it's better to just have understanding, not try to, be the opposite.
What it really boils down to is just having self-awareness. Like a lot of people, they've probably were raised up to be more masculine or more feminine, but it's within themselves to understand where what trait is really shining and what trait they really need. And a lot of people just do not think about it. They don't. They just go for it.
That's good.
Yeah.
You should subscribe to that, bro. Let's subscribe to gems, bro. We could have put that in a song and that would have been bars, bro. Like what? I don't know how we would have made it, but it would have happened.
I forgot what I said. So what did?
I don't know.
You can just replay it.
It'll be on the internet. It'll be on the internet forever, so we can just go back in. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know what you think in the comment section. Do you agree with me sometimes? Do you agree with JJ or Leche? Do you think that chick? What's her name? Brett.
Yeah, she's a good example, I feel, of someone who's confused with between their masculine and feminine parts.
I'm a draft.
Yeah.
Hey, Let us know what you guys think about this setup. This is something new we're trying. A lot of the feedback we got from the previous video was that we were standing and the lighting was a little weird. We're still trying to figure out the lighting, but now we're sitting. So, yeah.
So,
peace. Dajuan. Juji.
Oh, hopefully the video ends right there, because that'd be very stupid.
Also,
Smile on the camera.
Check out the Patreon because we're gonna put some extra clips on there. It's an unrelated note to the video, so that's what we're putting on the Patreon. So like, subscribe, comment. That's it.